Come up here. How many phone calls you make? I need to do more. They strike out on this dance. I need to do more. And my friend Lynn Boggs, he was a left-handed pitcher in Little League, you know. And his daddy, Larry be just wearing him out. He'd be like, kicking that dirt, you know, and his daddy be like, why didn't you hit the cutoff man or whatever, you know. He'd be like screaming, he'd be kicking that dirt. And one day he was riding his moped, and that thing, a little moped thing, or a little dirt bike motorcycle, when you was a kid, mini bikes. And that son was going to run out of gas. And so they was pushing him down this little dirt road. You know what I mean? Try to get it cranked up, you know. And when he ran out into the road, there was a car coming. Boom! It run over him. It knocked his big toe off. And I was thinking, that jerk will be kicking the dirt, and he got no big toe no more. You know what I'm talking about? I wonder what Lynn's doing today. That's what I was thinking. I was like, everybody will be kicking the dirt because his daddy be wearing him out, you know. But I kind of feel like that when I'm talking to agents. Sometimes I'll be like, how many phone calls you make? They'll be like. I was like, at least they got a big toe. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm just going to tell you. Here's what people that don't make any money. I don't like making phone calls. There's a tip right there. I don't like talking in public. There's a tip right there. I don't like being bold with people and telling them what they need to hear. There's a tip right there. Anything that poor people hate, you need to start doing that. You with me? I'm just telling you, man. Here's what they say. They don't say, I don't like going out away from my house. They say, I like being home with my family. I like watching television. I like my couch. I got a spot. You know what I mean? It's like, figure out what they like. Don't do that. You see what I'm saying? They just, whatever they like, don't do that. So that's that combinator book. It's only 19 or 20 pages, but that's what it says. You can pick that book up. It's a little bitty, tiny book. Who wrote that book? When James Allen. Somebody come up with that. It's not even a book. It's just a little pamphlet. Look like he's trying to recruit you into something. Kind of a pamphlet. All right. Here we go. This is what we talked about last Wednesday, which is this. Everything across here is important in your life. And then things like here are not important. Albert Gray. So things like here are not important. And then things right here are urgent. And things right here is not urgent. And we were saying where the big money is. Well, the big money is here because that's your future. Because you don't want tomorrow to be better. And right here is your now. And you don't want your now to be bad. And this will screw up yesterday, tomorrow, and forever. You with me? This stuff down here will screw up to all your life. It'll just mess everything up. You don't have nothing. You don't have no friends. Have no money. Got no power, got no rhythm. You lose your rhythm. You stay down there. It's just messed you up altogether down here. All right, this is see, it's urgent and not important. Not urgent and not important. You see the common denominator of the lower level is not important. That makes sense? The common denominator of brokedom is not important. The common denominator of today and tomorrow is important stuff. Broke people, all about this stuff. They're all focused on it. And they do all this, and then they don't have time with this, and they use this as an excuse for that. This is an excuse for that. That makes sense? Okay. All right. So I want to tell you this. When people say, Andy, what did you do? What were you thinking? How did you get here? How do you get what you got? Let me just tell you, of all the things that I see is W-A-N-T-T-O, want to. Some of these books call it desire. Want to, desire to, ambition to, try to, like want it, like crazy. I remember one time I don't have this. Y'all have these memories? I was trying to steal third base, and I'm not the fastest in the world, but I had a good lead off a second. And so I tried to steal third, or something happened like that. And Coach Poole, Ned Poole, he got all mad. And he come out there and got up in my face, talk about, you don't want to win this game. Oh, it was all I could do not to punch him right in the face right out there in the middle of shortstop where I got caught, because I got in a rundown. And I was like, no, you don't want to win the game. There ain't nobody want to win the game more than me. You know what I'm talking about, Andy Riddle? Pissed me off, Bo. That was, woo, I want to kill him, because you can't accuse me of not wanting to win. Does that make sense? And like one of my cousins, Gary Carroll, he works at Edward Jones, he said, I knew you when you was little. He said, you were one of them competitive type. I don't understand why people not competitive type. Like, you can't say I want to win and then not be competing. Does that make sense? Now, here's what I'm going to tell you too this. All the stuff I'm talking about up here, that joker didn't have to kick the dirt. You with me? He could have just looked at his daddy like he was crazy. I would have been laughing, You got choices. You with me? And all this stuff down here is choices and choices. It's not like I was born with a success gene.
Okay, come on. Does
that make sense?
Right.
When I was a kid, I'd hear people talking, and I was like, I don't want what they got. I want what they want. When I watch television, I'd be like, I want what they got. If that jerk going to jail, I said, I don't want that one right there. Especially with them scenes, where they're getting beat up and different things are happening. I was like, I don't like that idea. I'm going to avoid jail like the damn plague. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? It's on how my don't do list. And then when I watch the rich people that are driving a Ferrari, I'd be like, all right, now how do you do that? Or had a helicopter or a jet or a nice house, I'd be like, Does that make sense? And I'll just study that. But it was that want to and that desire to and that freak out like didn't care who cared. I knew what I wanted. Does that make sense? Now, over time, I met people and they would say, you're right about that want thing. Because I wondered, I was like, should I want this or not? And they would say, you're right about the want thing. So what I'm saying is, for those of you, Mary, what's your name, sir? Jacob. Those of you that have a want to, I'd like to grow the want to. The Bible talks about the seed of a mustard seed. There's the people's faith that they're given. But when the mustard seed grows, you with me? So there's a want to seed in you. I can see it in people, Viviana, and I am telling you that if you will grow that desire, like let it get crazy. And Maddie, you real young like that, the sooner you can grow it. Now I'm going to tell you, you're going to make people mad. And it might be Daddy sitting right behind you. You with me? I don't know if it's okay. I'm just letting you know it's going to happen. Like if I'm riding down the road, we get ready to hit a bump. Say, hey, we get ready to hit a bump. Because I don't want you to go, ah, what was that? I'd be like, I told you it's a bump. You see what I'm saying? If I tell you it's a bump, chill. It's a bump coming, chill. I'm telling you, it's going to make people mad. But I'm telling you, this is the quickest, easiest, cheapest. You don't want to pay a big price to get rich, do you? No. You want to pay something cheap. If you want to keep it cheap, you got to go to crazy want to. Does that make sense? You say, well, if I'm going to make somebody mad real quick, that's not cheap. You should try making them mad over a long period of time. That's very expensive. You with me? Because, it's like dragging a Band-Aid off your arm. Just rip it off. Let's go. I got time. You know what I'm saying? You're going to just keep dragging it. Hurt going to hurt 2 or 3 days in a row. Easing it all. Just rip it off. Let's go. Does that make sense? So it's the quickest way is that want to and that desire saying, I want to. I'm telling you, Olga, Jason, whenever you decide you want to, it's going to do. You with me? Does that make sense? Just that craziness. So for young people to listen to me, that just getting that just want to, desire to. Now, I was focused, I was crazy, I was determined. Yesterday, my son came and did an interview with me. He's going to take an entrepreneurial class, and he had some questions. And he's like, "How did you stay balanced?" I said, "I ain't never considered being balanced since my adult life. Because I was a kid, I'd hear that junk, and I'd be like, that don't make no sense. Because I'd be watching TV, and the people with the nice stuff were not balanced. Right. They were focused. They were crazy. They were fanatical, and it didn't add up. When people on that, of course, because I don't know, wouldn't know what they was talking about. They talking about balance, but they'd say you need to do this, this, and this. I ain't doing all that. You're still saying I ain't doing all that. But I thought I was a little bit crazy. Matter of fact, talking to my mom, a lot of people thought I was depressed. I was thinking. I was just sitting there going like. A lot of my life, I was like that when I was little. I was looking around, I was like, because you see these people doing this stupid stuff and failing, and I'd be like, what if they're doing it on purpose? And then I was like, what if it's just, they don't like for me to say the real word, but I call it touched. People will get mad. I was like, what if they just touched? Y'all know what I mean, touched? Y'all know that? Like, touched, you know? I was like, what if something's wrong? But it was so many of them. And then I was like, wonder if I'm touched and don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Like your memory blocked being touched. You know what I'm saying? So I was just looking around thinking, but I started meeting these rich people, Terry, and they look at me and they go, you got it, don't you? I said, I got it. What is it I got? They go, you want to win. I said, oh, you have no idea. So I just kind of went like, I got crazier and crazier about it. And what happened is, people see me now as enthusiastic and fired up. That's just because I have decided. You with me? I have come to a conclusion that right there gets me what I want. Does that kind of make sense? I'm trying to talk to you. All right, I'm trying to just cut through all the gibberish and say this is what it is. So my son asked me. He said, "How'd you stay balanced?" I said, "Son, I ain't thought about staying balanced since I figured out you didn't have to be balanced. Everybody I know off balance got something." In other words, you ain't heard Michael Jordan. He ain't no swimmer. He ain't no artist. He don't know how to paint. You with me? He's an athlete. That's because he focused on being an athlete, ding dong. Yeah. But he ain't no ice hockey player. Yeah. No ice skating. Focused, figuring out what you want. That's what we always talk about. I knew what I wanted. I wanted freedom, baby. Freedom. That's the other thing Spencer asks is like, what got you fired up all the time? Freedom. 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 Go where I want, do what I want, buy what I want, take my wife where I want to, take my children on trips, hunting, fishing, looking. We big on looking. Just go over there looking, and just freedom, man. I just want to be free. I just want to be free. And so so what you think is, what would a fanatic do in this case? People say, you ain't now to sign up for convention now. It ain't till January. I go, what would a fanatic do? Right. What would a crazy person do? What would a determined person do? What would an off-balance person do? Do you see the thinking on that? And so you end up doing stuff that appears stupid and crazy. And oftentimes, it backfires and you fail. And then people talk about, I told you so. You're like, shut up. You didn't know nothing. Just keep doing it. Does that make sense? So I determined that it didn't matter what they thought. I just knew that I needed to keep being like this. Does that make sense? In other words, all I would try to do is do what I'm supposed to do, which was be fanatical and be crazy. And so, here's something I need to talk to my agency managers, my premium finance, my inner circle people, James, Jane, Kyle, Andy, all you guys. Here's the deal. Here's some scripts you need to use. This is what you're supposed to say. I have never seen it like this right here. As a matter of fact, our company has never been experiencing growth like this. You got to say that and say that and say that and say that. We're finding great people that are brand new that are passing people that used to be with us. People are making decisions. What's your name? Liliana? Am I saying it right? Liliana, people making decisions today and they passing people, changing their life. Never seen it happening so like this so quickly in the Alliance's history. Whew. I don't know who they are, but I feel it. I know they're out there. You keep saying that, and somebody says, I believe they're talking about me. And next thing you know, they start they start getting the money, and next thing you know, your business is growing. Does that make sense? You got to say it over and over again. But if you don't say it, you say, well, they can see that it's growing. They can see that it's awesome. They can't see nothing. They're blinded by the light. You got to tell them. That's right. You got to say it over and over again. Okay, so what would a focused person, what would a determined person do? All right, now, I came across this thing, 25 characteristics of extremely successful people. I said, I'll be lucky if I remember 3. I remembered 1. I'm going to tell you about the 1. Successful people seem to have this ability to stay calm and carry on. To stay calm and look around. And I don't think it's a gene that you born with. It's a seed, just like the want to and the faith. It grows inside of you, the ability not to panic. And sometimes I try to tell people what to do when something happens. Does that make sense? I got several. This happens, do this. This happens, do this. This happens, do this. Walk in a meeting, I ain't never seen an audience like this. I see some of the craziest eyes out there, people, bright hair, bushy tail, people going to make a decision that's going to do it. And I look at as many of them as I can. That's just what you do when you walk in a room. So I got one for my kids. I tell them, I said, let's say you riding down the road. Here you are. There come an animal. Okay, like a squirrel or a raccoon or an opossum or a big old turtle or a deer or something, a deer. Okay? What you do is you get your knuckles lined up. You lean it towards him like you're going to run over him. You with me? Now, a lot of people, they go like, "Wah!" Okay, that'll get you killed right there. Jerk off the road in the ditch, go over into the other oncoming traffic, slam on brakes, and then that transfer truck run all up over you. Does that make sense? Because they panic. I told my kids, I said, try to think about running over them. Just kind of get them in the aim like you're going to run over them. I said, you might want to goose it a little bit. Like say you're running fast, just speed up a little bit, try to hit him. Don't panic. Don't panic. And I don't know about this, but I heard them PETA people, they said the animals can sense. You know, like if a dog, you know, they can sense. I said, well, they're going to sense I'm trying to run over them and get the hell out of the way. Does that make sense? Because if them PETA people right and they sense it, they'll be like, ah, somebody's, and then they're going to panic, not me. So this is the way you go. First thing you do, focus on trying to hit him. I'm going to kill him. I got him. And we can do a point system for them, like turtles are 1 point, possums, you know. So you focus on them, right? But you thinking, I don't want to mess up my car. I don't want to get blood all up in my tires. I just washed my car. And what if it breaks something, breaks my light, then I got to talk to the maintenance people, I got to file a claim. I don't want to do all this, right? And some of you be like, I don't want to kill the animal, all right, whatever. Okay, but you got all these things. Okay, first thing you think is kill, okay? See, now, take your eye off your target and look at oncoming traffic and see if anything's coming. And then glance up into your rearview mirror, okay? Does that make sense? Yeah. Don't panic. Aim. Glance. You with me? By the way, if you're texting or putting your lipstick on, stop. We got a situation we got to deal with. Set everything down that you got in your hands. Start driving with your hand again instead of your knee. Yeah. Oh, dang it, there's an animal. You with me? Yeah. Get your aim, glance. Now you might be thinking all that negativity. Well, if there ain't nothing oncoming and ain't nothing behind you, tap on the brakes just a little bit. We don't want the animal to think, you know, I don't want him to sense everything's going to be all right. But tap on the brakes. Just tap on it. Does that make sense? Just tap on it. Now, if you tap it and boom, yeah, it's all right because, you know, you didn't get hit on oncoming traffic, you didn't run a ditch, and the transfer truck didn't run over. You just ran over an animal. They make it more every day. That's about all them animals do is eat and propagate, you know, so they'll make another one. That's all they do. Have you ever seen an animal build a dadgum skyscraper or Caesar's palace? No. He might build a dam, confuse the river, but it ain't going to last. That's all they do. They'll make more of them. You with me? Okay? All right. God's in charge. If he wants to, what do they call them? What do he calls when they change over time over 1 billion years? Yeah, if he wants to evolve one quicker, we'll get a new one. You know what I'm saying? Like, successful people are calm. They just have a strategy. Does that make sense? And my kids, they're funny. They always store it because it's going to happen to you if you're out in the country or anywhere. You go animals and stuff, you know. So tap that brake. And then if it taps and the animal gets away good, or if you're like, oh, I saw him in plenty of time, I'll just slow on down to a stop. Let him get out of the way. Does that make sense? So it's a win-win-win-win-win for you. Might work out good for the animal. Does that make? But what you don't do is panic. Does that make sense? So it's the same thing when you're in a house and you walk in there, and they got you ever see them? You ever know when they come to the door and they got like a roller thing, got fluid connected to their arm, and they're like, hey, come on in, I need some life insurance. You know what I mean? Or if they come over to the door like this right here, right there, yeah. We ain't got as much of them to insure. You know what I'm saying? So, does that make sense? Come on over here, right? Don't panic. And don't stare. Does that make sense? Just, you've been there. Y'all with me on this? Don't panic. Think. Stay calm. Look around. Does that make sense? There might be somebody else in the room healthy. You done went into a panic and scared everybody off. Run in the ditch. You see what I'm saying? Look around for a healthy person. Hey, who takes care of you? Where they at? Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Don't panic. Stay calm. Everybody panics. Like, whatever. Yeah, you know, we C.J. Riley. He was our best #1 receiver. Football player Saturday. And that jerk coming out, I don't know what they had him on punt team, but he was on punt coverage. He went flying down there, missed a tackle. They're rolling around. He was screaming, throwing his hands and flapping. I said, that joker's hurt right there. I could tell the way he was flapping. And he tore something. Whatever you tell, ACL. And you know what the coach said? Next up, little Smitty over here, or whatever his name was. He's a freshman. He was going to be redshirted. Guess what? He's getting ready to step up. Next up. Next man up. Does that make sense? My coach ain't we lost CJ. I mean, I'm not happy we lost CJ. They're tall. He could catch. Next man up. Does that make sense? This kid might be better than that other one. Now, CJ, does that make sense? Like, don't panic. That's probably the biggest thing you can. Well, that's my favorite out of 25. So, all right. I'm serious about all this stuff. People always be laughing. I'm serious about it. All right, we deal with people that got diabetics, they got this, that, and the other. Don't panic. Because if you're the doctor and you're the life insurance agent, you got to fix the situation. Last thing you want to hear with a doctor, you bring something in there and he looks at it and says, woohoo! I ain't never seen nothing like that! You are the professional. Got this thing on my hand. Jill, you almost. You with me? You're the professional. So we're laughing, but you're the professional. Okay? All right, that's a big deal. I'm trying to get y'all through. This is. I want to tell you who's winning. Andy Riddle brought his team up in here. So I want to get him up here. And Mr. Andy Riddle, come up here. It won't make any loud noises, but it goes in clearer over the television screen. Andy, would you tell them who you are and how long you've been with us, and give us some success stories, some things that you've done, freedom type things that you've created with the Alliance. Mr. Andy Riddle.
Thank you, Andy. My name's Andy Riddle. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I've been in the business now with Andy for the last 12 years and get to be mentored by Andy and Jane, and it's an honor. Before coming to the Alliance, I worked for Merrill Lynch left there 12 years ago to do this as a full-time thing. Over the last 12 years, just watching the stuff that Andy and Jane have done with Spencer and Haley has always motivated me for that freedom aspect and being able to do things and travel the world and travel to places that not only that they did and do, it's doing it with their kids. And that's always motivated me for that type of freedom. So over the last 12 years, just the things that I've been able to do with my daughters and the freedoms and stuff that we've been able to do, it's crazy. We go to, we travel as much as we can. It's in a first class way that Andy's always showed me that you've done.
You buy first class tickets for your little girls?
Yeah. So we flew, like this summer, we went out to California for a week. We flew out first class. I took my niece and nephew with us, flew them out first class as well. We got an Airbnb in the Hollywood Hills. It was a 6,000 square foot house up in the Hollywood Hills that overlooked LA, Beverly Hills. You could see the Hollywood sign from there. And then we spent a week out there just doing all kinds of cool stuff and stuff on that side. My oldest daughter just turned 16, so I bought her a new car for her 16th birthday. So she got a Lexus NX for her 16th birthday on that side there. And then flying up here yesterday, because of the hurricane, I flew into Charlotte, and I just realized how much I need a private jet because I had a layover in Atlanta, and I didn't like it. So.
But you're flying around a country. How many people in America never even get to fly in a plane, period? And they got this JetBlue stuff. I used to fly this Southwest. I love Southwest. And I mean, they've not flown. They haven't seen the country. And then that one time when you go first class and you pay for that seat and your line is non-existent. Be 100 people lined up. You just skip the line. And if you got your kids with us, you're like, let's go. Just walk past them like that.
I like it when we're in first class and we have 50% of the first class seats.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Don't ever fly first class unless you committed to it. Because if you have to go back, you will feel like cattle. You know? I mean, when you first fly, I don't care where you sit. You sit like this, you be like, I'm flying, you know. And you get there. I keep thinking about more panic situations. People just panic over everything. You know what I mean? Just there's so many different ways they panic. So we went. One of the coolest things I've ever done is we put my kids and his kids on a jet, and we went over to Atlantis to watch a basketball tournament. That was kind of crazy over Thanksgiving, and then we had Thanksgiving dinner at some barbecue place.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
They remind me every time the difference between first class and private when we fly. Yeah. They're aware now.
But Andy like personifies a lot of the things that I'm telling you. Like no matter how crazy it gets, he's got a different perspective on it. He don't lose his mind. He can look around and see what's happening. I mean, I always think about athletics when you're down by 20 points and it's the fourth quarter and it's 3 minutes, and those coaches, they look around and they come up with a story. They come up with a perspective or a view or an angle that's different from the losers. Because losers are like, they done gone. You know what I mean? They done left the stadium, and the coach is like, hey, look, all we got to have is 2 touchdowns, two points, and a field goal. That's all we need. Right. And you're sitting there like, that's a lot. He but no, it's just 3 times. You know, and so it's just 3. You know, it's not like 100. It's just 3. And you know what I mean? And they sell that perspective, and they're not panicked. And then when they lose, they ain't panicked. Not the high-paid people. Mad, furious, screaming, yeah, but not panicked. Because they're already focused on next week, next year, next recruit, how we're going to win next time. And if we win 9 out of 10, this is just 1 loss. If first loss of the year, it's just 1. Like they're just thinking like that. They don't freak out. Hey, I want you to introduce and get. Tell me. Matter of fact, let's try to get them all up here. Tell me who all you got.
Okay.
And let's get them come up here.
So we brought our inner 6 up,
your winners,
and we're going to hang out this weekend up here at Andy's leadership cabin and do some training stuff. So up here we got Jason and Olga Mathis.
Woo! Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you.
We got Big Mike Hartley up from Tampa. We got Louis Abadi.
Lou!
Big Lou.
Lou!
We got Brant and Jell Swindell.
Yeah.
Terry and Tia Edwards. And Chris and Courtney Long.
Look at you, brother. Look at Sharp. Look at that shirt, man. Thank you. Dang, oh, shoot. Hey, buddy. You didn't get Jane to come in here. I see that. Don't panic, but dadgummit. Tell me something about these people, Mr. Andy Riddle. And this is all you have. Is there somebody else coming? Or is this it?
This is it right
Everybody made it.
Yep, everyone
Everybody
made it.
in time for the activity call. Fantastic.
Yep, Lou was running in from the airport, and he got here.
All right, yeah, he texted me, told me it's going to be tight.
Yeah, so these are the minor 6 that we selected. So we came up this weekend and do some leadership training. Tim Goad's flying up, and we get to hang out with you and Jane at the football game tomorrow and stuff. We're fired up about that. But it's just, these guys are the ones that are out there and battling. These are the guys I selected in my group that I want to go to war with and battle with, and continue to grow and take it to another level on that aspect. So these are the guys that we're in the fight with. Part of the thing that we're fired up about this weekend is us actually coming together and gelling as a team. So it's all these guys are great individually, but as a team we want to come together and just take it to another level and really just figure out how we can get better as a team. Just thinking back to sports analogies and stuff, I just remember when I played sports, when we would travel to play games at a distance and have to stay in hotels together and do things together, that's when we actually became a team. Winning helps. And we've been winning and we're doing things winning, but I think when we gel as a team, the winning levels goes to another spot where we just start fighting for each other and really just take it to another level instead of just fighting for our own individual organizations and teams.
I like it. And y'all staying out of the cabin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
That's a crazy, beautiful place. Some of us were out there this past weekend. And football game tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we love them. Let me, I'll tell people, I didn't go to every football game when I was broke. As a matter of fact, I didn't go to 0 football games. I just forget that. Now, if somebody, I'm inviting y'all to have first-class seats and hang out, a treat, it happened. Now we go to as many as we can with my kids. Haley's going to be there with Brandon and Spencer and Adrian. And we go down on the football field for the coin toss. And this is the coin they toss for who's going to receive the kickoff. And each one of them are specially created. This is a Wolfpack versus Western Carolina University, the kickoff coin. Wow. And not all y'all don't get to go down for the kickoff, but you'll be right. They'll be like we're center of the football field. Players that far away, and we'll be watching and making a call on it and taking pictures and videoing, and they'll do the coin toss. But each one of these guys will get one of these coins. So there's yours,
thank you.
Andy Riddle.
Thank you so much.
And I just like freedom, baby. Freedom, And so we have my seats. I don't have a seat. I'm on a lot of times I will save a seat somewhere in the stadium, but sideline passes, and I'd say 9 times to 10, I get to hug and shake hands with the coach and get fired up and just look him in the eye and just say, ah, and that's crazy stuff for me. So I'm excited. Jane will be there. I thought you had her. We went out. Me and Jane went out with Courtney and Chris last night. And I thought Courtney had talked her into coming in here and hanging out with us. You know what she's doing? She's getting ready to tailgate. She's getting all the food ready, and she likes. I know. Yeah. I'm not kidding. She get everything lined up, tucked away, and me, I throw it in a sack. I'm on my back. She got organized. So she'll be hanging out with us, and we got time. It's not like we're rushed. We'll be sitting around, chilling. They got Biscuitville stuff coming, and Jane's got the cheese dip coming, and I don't even be talking about that. This was one of my biggest freedom things. Y'all know how a menu works, right? You'll have a food on the left and a price on the right. And when I was broke, I read my menu right to left. I would go, nope, 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 yeah. And then I'd go over to the side. Guess what it was? Chicken. Chicken. Yeah. Nope. Chicken a different way. When I say freedom, baby, we talking about stirred up sausage in with the cheese type of, you know what I mean? And Chris come up with a good idea. He said, you get you some of them pork skins, you can dip that cheese with a pork skin and stay in keto right there.
That's right.
Freedom, baby. That's what it is, about freedom, you know? So we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a blast, and, you know, win or lose, we're going to be screaming and laughing, and we're going to have a good time because we don't get paid on whether they win or lose. And we're going to pull for them. I hope they have a good time, and hope this new guy, we're going to be watching this new kid, his opportunity opens up because CJ got hurt, and we got this quarterback, second game he's ever started in his life, and it's just going to be fun, you know, and we're going to be looking around for sharp people. We're going to be cold contacting, right? We're going to be recruiting like crazy.
We'll be playing our own game.
Hey, come here, Mr. Wolfpack. You know, so we're going to be playing our game.
Yeah.
So I'm fired up about that. I want to tell y'all this too. Let's see. So that's tomorrow, and Sunday morning. I think Sunday morning early. Me and Jane are headed to the West Coast. There's this beautiful like it's old, easy dude ranch. You know, horses, spa, lakes, mountains, just chilling stuff, right? And now the agency managers, we're going to have a qualification. It's probably in the terms of the become agency manager at least 6 months out of the next 12. So this year, you got to do 6. So we're going to check it out, but this contest is already running. You with me? So it's, in other words, it started in January to become an agency manager. So Jane and I are going to go get oriented in this dude ranch. But here's the crazy thing about it. It's so laid back, you can wear jeans and boots, but it's so bad to the bone, you got to wear a jacket for dinner.
That's right.
That's my kind of redneck right there. You know what I mean? I like it really nice, but I kind of like my jeans.
Yeah.
You know, so jacket, and so we got our jackets, our clothes packed, and then we're going to this ridiculous Ritz, Bacara. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to post both of these locations on Band, so you can see what we're talking about. I can't even pronounce the dude ranch we're going to stay at, and then this Ritz-Carlton that they say is one of the most beautiful Ritzes in the world. So I'm excited to take off with Jane on that next week. So that's where we're going to be. So I'm not sure who's doing the TWC, but one of our leaders are going to be doing it. There was something else I wanted to announce coming. Oh, I thought it was going to be the coin and the T-shirt for recruiting. So this is the first coin we came out with the most. What do I want? What do I want? How do I get it? And what do I want? Simple, clear goals. Like, I mean, you could just put freedom on there for me. You didn't need, what do I want? I could have just put freedom. Matter of fact, I might do one soon that has just freedom right across that. And then most valuable task, because that's why we have this important across the top, not broke them. This is most valuable task. How do I get it? Most valuable task. All this stuff ties right in, okay? So you can't get there by yourself. You're going to need other people for freedom. Because if you're having to sell everything yourself, you're kind of a slave to your body. I mean, if your body can't work, you're burned. But when you can get other people and build a network, it's freedom. You still want to keep selling, but that's freedom. Does that make sense? So this ties into the recruiting, which is what I'm tying right back into. We're going to be looking. You with me? Okay. All right. Every one of these guys, Chris and Courtney, everybody's got their stories. One of my favorite stories with him is he said he had anxiety when he talked in front of people, more than one. And sometimes he'd break out in a rash with one. If it was like in a setting where he's across from him. Like if he's walking down the street with him, he could talk to him. But if they were sitting down looking at him, and I listened to that, I said, there's no way. Because when you see Chris now, he's one of the best public speakers you've ever seen. I mean, he gets his point across. I know. I was thinking last night how much you count on him to do the teaching with even some of these guys, but more of your whole team. And then Courtney, she's just become one of my wife's best friends, somebody that just just keeps her together. You with me? Just because of my crazy schedule, and she's just one of these people that teach. And I'm thinking she got to keep Chris together, and she got to keep my wife together, and she got all these kids and everything she got to take care of. Like, she's tough. You know what I'm talking about? It's Courtney. And Terry and Tia, we're talking about how they just came into our life. And I remember the first time I met him. I don't remember what hot spot we ran into. Was it in Greensboro?
TWC.
It was a TWC. It was here. And I was just like, God, I like this guy. He's got it. And I was like, y'all come out of our house. And then we hung out there shooting pool and messing with your kids. And listen to this. So of all the people that have been joining the Alliance, they've joined, and now they're doing 100,000 plus in premium a month.
That's right.
Just, and I look at people and I'm like, man, my buddies that aren't doing $100,000 a month that have been with me twice as long, and I'm thinking, what could I tell them to switch it? And so a lot of what I'm saying here, Andy and Lou, is to my buddies that ain't doing 100,000 that have been here for 12 years or 9 years, and these guys just poof, 100,000, and brand new people that want to get to 100,000. See, what I really want to do is get you to $1 million a month, Kyle. And I know y'all doing more than 100,000, but it's what are y'all, about 250, 260, so a month. But so what I'm trying to, if we could get 50 more people at 100,000 a month, you tracking with me? So I like what y'all have done. I don't think it's your master's degrees. I don't think it's your education, but it's just, I think it's the want to. It's that desire, because you've messed stuff up, you fixed it, you know what I mean, you failed. And I got to hang out with Jail, the most I've ever done, when we were up in Michigan, and knowing that there's a huge secret behind this dude right here, because Brant's come on to be one of the top annuity producers, top salespeople, top recruiters in the country. But we laughed pretty hard, and I was like, we need to just keep traveling the world together and having a good time, and it's just going to be, I can't imagine for your children and your family, and now you got your mom and dad involved and your brothers involved, and it's just kind of going like crazy. Big Mike, this joker right here, believe it or not, this joker is a underwater spear fisherman.
Aquaman.
And people are like, no, I go, yeah, Aquaman. Hooked me up. He lives down in Tampa, which is right there at our house in St. Pete. And what do you call your girlfriend? Tomato. Potato. And we were down there the other day in Florida, me and Jane, and went out to dinner with them, and we cried. We was laughing so hard. But just fun people around. Man's made, like most people that I meet, they've never made six figures in a 12-month period. A lot of people that made six figures over 9-10 years. You know what I'm saying? You add all of them up, they made over 100,000 too. He made it, and he's made 300,000 in one 12-month period. Not in this, but in other businesses. And I was like, must be something about him. Must have a want to. So he brought different experiences with us. And now he's making a killing with us, making a lot of money, but laughing his rear end off and getting to meet different people, hooking me up with a fisherman. This guy named Steve Dodds, one of the top fishermen down there in Tampa, took us out. We were catching so many fish. We was rotating around, and he's like, who's next? We was like, your turn. Because we was tired of bringing them in. He can pick them. So he knows that fishing, he knows business, and now he's building a crazy big organization. And then Jason and Olga, who found Terry and Tia, like that's what you want to do. You want to find them, right? And she's always, I always laugh like crazy when she talks about she was a baggage handler. How you say it? Tell them.
Baggage.
Here we go. And do the thing about him, a banker. Just do that little routine you do. It's a little routine she made up. This is true. But she's been working on this little routine. Tell them that routine.
Well, my name is Olga Mathis, and I used to work for American Airlines for 25 years, like luggage handler, throwing bags into the belly of airplane, about 200 bags in each plane, so really strong. And my husband used to work for Bank of America, and then when he he didn't want to do insurance. He said, no, I am a banker. I don't want to do insurance. So, but when he started to see the money that I was making, he said, "What the heck? My wife is doing a business." So he started to pay attention, and guess what? I retired the banker. Yeah.
Now, if she does that down in Miami, I let it go. But if she's up here, I interpret the whole thing. I'm like, now what had happened was, she was the one that picked up the luggage and put it in the plane. And then, listen to this. Tell me if I'm wrong. She wore them knee, you ever seen her wear them knee pads? Because they're crawling on her knees all the time. So she was on her knees up in the belly of the plane, taking baggage and pushing it up further. Is this...
Put it on top.
Does that make sense? You think, ain't no way. 20 years she did that. 25 years. She did that. And so what that does is just eliminate excuses. All I've ever done is I've been a server. How many years? 3 years. What are you, locked into, She was a baggage handler from Colombia.
That's right.
So I say things, and people say words, and she don't know what they mean, and phrases, but yet she figures it out to get a check. She figures out to get annuity money. She figures it out to recruit people. And then Jason started recruiting like crazy, and he's one of the funniest dudes. I hung out. Where was we hanging out? What country just recently? Paris. We was Paris, just walking
Paris,
around.
France, walking around,
Talking.
He's
saying the
laughing,
craziest stuff.
telling stuff
like,
that they got over there in the Louvre.
We was in the Louvre.
I was, and they got stuff over there that's crazy.
Remember earlier when I said successful people? Something about them?
Yeah.
They crazy. Mm-hmm. We were talking, he was telling, we were playing some kind of game. I don't know, what was that game?
Scavenger hunt your team had worked out.
A little bit more paying attention to that scavenger hunt than man. We just walk around looking at stuff. I'll be like, look at that right there.
We found a good wine shop.
We did find a good wine shop. We just fun people we get to hang around. And these are special people. And they're looking and they're finding other people and they're gradually coming around, but they're looking for that boom, that next one. Oh my God. All right, and Lou Abadi. Met Lou and starting to get to know his family. This sucker was a high-level trader. Bonds, stocks, futures, and all that stuff. And I was like, he's going to be too smart to do this. But he's not. He's not too smart to do it.
No, not even close.
Way to go.
Thanks, Andy.
Got out of the hustle bustle of New York.
Yes, sir.
He was in a high level in New York. Moved to Tampa. Is that pretty much you just didn't like that hassle? I ain't getting into your story, but it's just the hecticness, the craziness.
Done. Yeah, just done.
Done.
Yeah, done.
Done. And your wife was okay with that and moved.
All for it.
More than okay. So this story is deep.
Yeah.
You get into it. These are the people I'm talking about. These are winners. These are people that make it. Y'all grab a seat. I got a couple more things to run over. I got way more, and its time has run out. Look at all this stuff on the cover. Okay, I'll give you a couple phrases. This is called the reticular activation. Okay? Reticular activation. What it does, it creates a concept in your brain that goes to your eye and your ears and your nose and your feelers. And here's the way it works. Anything that helps you become successful becomes clearer and more obvious and appears out of nowhere. It's a reticular activation system. And what happens is, as the desire goes, it creates this membrane. This is like a legitimate thing. I ain't got time to do the scientific facts behind it. I'm telling you, it's a reticular activation system that makes you see who. That's why I'm always looking, because I can see who can help me get what I'm trying to do. And they'll just appear. Does that make sense? I can hear them. I hear the voice. I'll be like, oh, that's the word. That, like when she said that banker thing and the luggage handler, I was like, boom. This right here is going to help me get where I want to go. You with me? Right. Like, these are the type people. So you just attracted to the people. And when we were laughing, Jail, and you didn't get mad, but you laughed, and it was just, we kept laughing and stuff. Like, you're like, oh wait, put them two together. You've got magic. You with me? Just looking for that magic. Oh, here's another principle. This is called the expediency principle. Y'all gonna know this is true when I tell it to you. People always try to find what's good for them, the fastest and easiest way. That's what they do. That's the way people are. They want what they want, fast and easy, with little consequences for the future based on their actions. They will do what they need to do to get what they want now, the easiest and fastest. Okay, it's called the expediency principle. That's the way people think, Terry. So here's your job. That's the way people are. Your job is to think what you want and how it benefits Tia, how it benefits Long. That's why I say when you go up to somebody and ask their phone number, don't say, "Can I get your phone number? I might need to use you." Right. Say, "Hey, listen, I live in Jacksonville. Put your number in there. For anything I can do in Jacksonville, I can help you." Got their phone number. Boom, yeah. Because you're doing the expedient. You're working the expediency principle. Okay. How does this benefit them? That's all you're thinking is, how does this get them what they want immediately without any effort? How does this get them fast? So your job is to be thinking about everybody else. What do they want? What do they want? What do they want? How do they get it? What do they want? What do they want? How do they get it?
That's huge.
And then how do you turn that into how do you want and how do you get? How does what you want benefit them? Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, for example, I want a bigger jet. That means you get first jet.
That's right.
So I got to figure out how you get your first jet. Because you see how I'm thinking? It's this. Okay, that's called the expediency principle and your job. That's an hour and a half talk. Yep. Creative. Here's another term for you. Creative procrastination. People say procrastination is bad. No, it's not. If it's down here. Where it was right there. My chart disappeared on me, Billy. That's it right there. If it's down here, you got to be creative to put it off. Hey, listen, we're getting ready to move this weekend. Is there any way you can help me? 100%. Can you do it a different weekend? I will help you tomorrow. Give me an hour. Let me get an hour. And he said, what if an hour's up? Well, then you forget. Does that make sense? Because I can't remember an hour, can you? Does that make sense? Creative procrastination. Stuff that don't help, put it off.
That's right.
You got to get tricky with this procrastination thing. Sometimes people call my hand on it. They say, "You're just putting it off." I say, "I'm a procrastinator." That twists them up because they ain't know what that word means. Or they're surprised that I used it. They don't know what to say. If they say, "Yeah, you are a procrastinator," I'll be like, "I don't even know what that means." Does that make sense? Creative with your procrastination and selective with your procrastination. Here's another one right along those lines. It's called the excluded alternative. You got 3 choices, 4 choices. You pick the first one, that excludes the other ones.
Yeah.
It's called the big rock principle. Hey, you got to make, I'm going to talk to one boy right now. You need to make 20 phone calls a week. Does that make sense? Not 20 phone calls, 20 appointments. 500 phone calls, you got to make 20 appointments a week. I'm just telling him. Quit fiddle farting around. Can I say figging?
Yeah.
Fig, my new word, fig.
Big. That's right.
I don't give a fig for simplicity, this side of complexity, but simplicity, the other side of, yeah. You with me? I need for him to book 20 appointments. And what happens is he excludes other things. It's called excluded alternative. So the alternative that he should do or could do, it needs to be excluded for the first choice. Excluded alternative. You have alternatives. Instead of making phone calls, instead of making 500 recruiting calls, you have alternatives. Excluded alternative. Excluded, does that make sense? Yeah. Kind of. These terms are real. Okay? So what you're looking at is the task. What's your name again? Jacob. Your task. The task. You're ranking your task, and you exclude these alternatives to the high value task. Make sense? Okay. All right, you in the right place. Go back to where you were now, Billy, with those quotes. I got a couple of crazy quotes for you. Zig Ziglar said this, not Andy. Zig Ziglar said, "Money may not be the most important thing in life, but it's up there with oxygen."
Hanging hard there, right there. Yeah, that's good.
Listen. All right, listen to this. Cherish your visions and your dreams. Freedom, baby. They are the children of your soul, the blueprint of your ultimate achievements. Treasure the dreams. Meaning, somebody go to take them, whoop, they rear end.
Open up a can.
Open up a can. Treasure, value your dreams and aspirations, because that's ultimately what you're going to do. Like fight, violent, mean, psycho. There's one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definite of purpose, knowledge of what wants, and a burning desire. Ain't that everything I've been saying?
That's right. That's it.
Want, I understand it, I'm crazy. I want it, I understand what I want, I'm crazy. How about this one? Whenever you find something getting done, you're going to find a monomaniac with a mission. I'm a monomaniac with a mission. Monomaniac. Y'all know what mono means? One. Y'all know what aniac means? Crazy. Monomaniac on a mission. That's what I'm looking for, is some monomaniacs on a mission. I know it's going to make your mama mad because your monomaniac mission. That don't matter. There's more. You with me? That's for Eric Belair right there, in case you think I can't start everything with the same letter too. Monomaniac. You become as small as your controlling desire, as great as your dominant aspiration. Freedom, baby. Freedom. Is that it? James Allen? Seemed like I had a long one. Is that it? We done? All right. Each one of those little words, reticular and excluded alternative, monomaniac, we could spend seminars on this, but I wanted to just cut it down and say, simplify. You with me? We got the grand opening of Terry and Tia's office. Y'all come up here. Terry and Tia's office. Tell them, give them an invitation, last minute notice.
All right, we located at 745 Cinema Drive, Suite V and W in Kernersville, North Carolina. They say they couldn't find no leaders in a little small town, but we done did it, man.
There you go.
We done did it.
Kernersville, so proud of y'all.
Thank you, Andy.
I know your office is beautiful, and I know it's vibrant, and because I know y'all walk in there and it changes the whole atmosphere.
That's right.
Oh, shoot. I knew it was 10 other things. Tim Goad has a relationship leadership coming up in November. We're going to get out more details on that, so just kind of heads up. That'll be in Orlando at his on his farm. Speaker for convention in January. My wife has found this guy, and she's been emailing, texting him. I hadn't talked to him yet, but he wrote a book with John Gordon called The Coffee Bean, and I meant to bring it in here. And his name is West. I think it's Damon West. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's called The Coffee Bean. So I am negotiating to get him in on January and do some talks for us. Crazy, crazy story that's coming up. I know there's more stuff. We're still doing, the Alaska cruise is still on go if y'all are winning. Brand new people, you can win this. You have time to win it. There's enough bonuses and there's enough points. Thank y'all for plugging in. Great activity call. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. Didn't mean to offend all of you. Guy had too much for 60 minutes.